Ladybeard! Hello, podcast kittens. It's Cathy Cat and...
Ladybeard coming at you with another eyebrow-plucking installment of Cat with Beard! How are you, young lady?
I am wonderful. I have news. I went to Germany and to my
right.
hometown, Bavaria, after 3 long years.
All right.
Because of the pandemic, Pandini. I'm very grateful to finally see friends and family and people I haven't met for a lot of years. After 3 years. Lots of things changed in 3 years. It's crazy. I can't believe we were stuck so long outside of our countries.
It feels a bit time warpy, doesn't it?
It was really weird. It's like suddenly a lot of my friends have like families or started buying houses. Some started popping out kids. It's like, whoa, it's like a whole new world. A lot of things happened during the pandemic, Pandini. But we're now here, and it was great to see Germany from a new perspective. If you've been away from your country and your family and friends for so long, it kind of gives you a whole new perspective. I'm super hyped of keeping it going here in Japan now, even more than before, because we can do so much fun stuff here.
2 questions.
Yes.
Number 1, you went to an anime convention, yeah?
Oh, yes, I did.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, that was fun. What actually was most fun about that convention, though, was I met people that I knew from my musical group. I used to do anime convention musicals in Germany. And I met people from my musical group and just found out what they're doing now. So it felt in a weird... because I moved countries so many times, as we talked about it on the Cathy Cat special episode here on the podcast. Go back,
check it out.
I've moved so many times that I don't have any class reunion meets ever. But for me, that convention was almost like a class reunion meet because I met so many people who I used to sing and dance with.
Great.
That it was...
And they were really your homies, weren't they? As opposed to your classmates or whatever.
Yeah, they were really my homies. Like, we would practice every Saturday together. We would tour all of Germany and like events and stuff. So it was really cool to see some of those people again, see what they're doing now. Some of them are married. Some of them are lawyers. Yeah, one of them became a probably international acclaimed lawyer as well, while she's still somehow managing the group. So that was really exciting to see. And just it was a whole time. Let's do the time up again. It was mad. It was really, really fun. And then what I haven't done before. So in order, you guys know, if you live in Japan, you don't really get holidays. You don't really do. Not really. So for me, it was a big deal to actually get a juicy 3 weeks holiday. I think it's the first time ever since I came to Japan that I got a 3-week holiday.
Yeah, right.
1 day longer, and my chair wouldn't have been at my office anymore, is pretty much what I got told. So 3 weeks is the absolute max I will ever be able to take. So after 8 years in Japan, I finally got juicy 3 weeks off.
Congratulations.
And having that time off, I actually got to the lake. Rented a little family home out with my mum, and
nice.
I just woke up looking at the sea or the lake, looking at the little lake, watching a little random duck go past, and go like, wow, this is a completely different lifestyle, right opposite of Tokyo.
Sounds lovely.
That was another little thing. It was like completely, but then it's so funny because it feels like you almost have a reverse culture shock.
Well, this is my second question. Do you feel like a foreigner now when you go back to Germany?
I guess we have different values. The people who live in Japan and who are actually working actively in Japan and who are in the grind, you have to have a certain mindset, right? It has to be no, I'm going to do this, I'm going to grind, I'm going to do the unpaid overtime or the overtime and work till late at night, I work 20 hours a day. This is our life, right? Well, if I tell that to people in Germany, they're like, you're crazy.
They'd be like, how dare you?
They're like, what? They get like a month easy, a month of holidays off, perfect healthcare, super relaxed. And every Sunday, all shops are closed. You can't go shopping because Sunday is still a holiday in Germany. So it's very different.
Someone very close to me in Australia had an incident in their workplace recently when they were struck in the face by a child. A 5-year-old boy punched them in the face, right?
How is that connected?
Well, I'm about to explain.
Okay.
And then situation sorted out, goes home and everything, bit of a bruise on the face, but no real problem. And then got a call from the the people in charge of the whole thing, and they're like, "Do you feel safe returning to the workplace?" I'm like, no one has ever asked me if I feel safe. I told, oh, you feel unsafe? Get in there, jackass! You know? It's a totally different attitude towards everything, isn't it?
Yeah. There's
Especially
this whole socials network is amazing. Everyone has so much support and security.
It's remarkable.
And there's a lot of, though, I realized a big change in the environment. I think the whole children not going to school and stuff has really made a big shift now. The whole environmental Thunberg generation has done a big shift, and now literally every product you look at it is like, is it environmentally,
that kind
sustainable?
of environment. Oh, I see.
Really? There's a lot of like awareness. Like products will like, even if it's just an electronic device, they will still say, yeah, we're trying to be sustainable and stuff.
Really?
So there's a big like nature supporting thing going on there, and apparently pre-COVID, you could even just get a tupper, walk up to the store and say, please give me some sausage, and you just fill it straight into your tupper.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of that kind of stuff going
Right.
on. Another thing I love is they started doing telephone booth libraries.
Oh, the telephone box full of booze.
Let's try this again.
Telephone booth full of books.
Yes, but it's for free.
Yeah.
So you just go and get yourself a book, and you never have to return it.
I guess you got to do something with those telephone booths now that no one needs them
idea.
anymore.
I mean,
That's a
instead
good
of
idea.
dismantling them, just put in some books for free. Some other people love having that book. I still have one of those books that I got there because you don't have to return them. You
That's
can just,
good.
if you have a free book, just put it there.
I have one of those in Shibuya now.
Oh,
A little
really?
box of books. Yeah.
Yeah, and you just for free. It's not it's not a return system.
Nice. If you got a book, you leave it there. You take another book. Hey.
It's fantastic. It's like a gift. As a literature student, I was excited. I kind of toured around the different.
Do you read a lot?
I try to, but working full time in Japan again, kind of hard.
Do you listen to audiobooks?
I listen recently more to like Masterclass or the Cat with the Beard podcast for all the amazing information about how to make it in Japan.
Masterclass? Whose masterclass are you doing?
Masterclass. Oh, Margaret Atwood, that kind of
No
stuff.
way, are you?
Yeah.
Huh.
I love Margaret Atwood.
That's interesting.
She's amazing. She's pretty good. But also there is I don't know his name, was like a completely different again, but like negotiation or that kind of stuff that I can't really do, like how to go into a confrontation. I'm like, ooh, this is how people do that.
Yeah, Chris Voss has one. He's a
Chris
former
Voss.
FBI
That was good.
negotiator.
Yeah, Chris
Did you
Voss.
do his?
Yes, I did his.
Oh, is it good?
That one was really good.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That's probably one of the most popular on currently on
Because I read
Masterclass.
his book, but I haven't done the masterclass.
We are not affiliated or sponsored by them, by the way.
We're
just-
also not talking about the thing that's on the script to talk about today
Not at all.
on any
We haven't
level.
even started yet. Ladybeard, any news? I went to Germany. I enjoyed the Eurovision party with all my friends. But what did you?
I went to Portugal. It was wonderful. I went to Iberanime Lisbon 2023. It was fantastic. Every beautiful person in Lisbon who came out to Iberanime, thank you so much. And of course to the convention organizers, thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful. That booking was 4 years in the making. It was meant to happen in 2019, and then there was a schedule conflict, so it couldn't happen. And it was meant to happen in 2020. We all know what happened then. 2020, 2021, 2022. Wow. And it finally happened in 2023.
Well, that's some good organization. They really tried to get you in there. I just rolled in there and was like, "Hi guys, I just turned up," and they're like, "Yep, come on in." So
Yeah, we hit. Yes. In terms of preparation time, we had opposite experiences. Thank you very much, everyone at Iberanime. You guys showed me a fantastic time. Thank you. First time in Lisbon, beautiful city, loved it. Loved it.
So, anything cool coming up that you want to mention?
I'm going to Singapore. It's going to be awesome. The July 23 weekend, I'm going to AFA Creators Superfest. So if you're in Singapore, you'll see Ladybeard at AFA Creators Superfest. Hey, even if you're not in Singapore, maybe you're in Malaysia. Maybe you're in Kuala Lumpur. Hey, you should come on down. Maybe you're somewhere unrelated. You're in Thailand. You're in Mongolia. Hey, maybe you're in the United Kingdom, in Bath. Whatever happens, you should come to Singapore.
Head
and see
on over to
Ladybeard.
Singapore. Ooh, I'd love to go to Singapore.
Come to Singapore.
Been.
It'd be wicked. It's great.
Ooh, I would love to
Merlion.
go.
You know what the Merlion is? It's a half fish, half lion. That's the Merlion.
Yes. Oh,
They have
yeah.
Merlion.
Oh, man.
You see the
really would
Merlion.
love to see that one day.
Come to Singapore. I'm going to be there. See you there.
Woo! Right. Today's topic is actually about makeup trends in Japan.
Makeup. We've been talking for 15 minutes already. We're finally making it to the
makeup trends in Japan. So, first of all, what kind of makeup do you generally wear, Ladybeard?
You know, this face you see now, this is the only face I know how to do.
All right. This is a pretty face.
Well, thank you.
That's a good. So to explain for everyone who's listening, there is pretty much a base foundation to just help with your skin tone, also with lights that you kind of have to have. Even the guys on any TV show will have makeup to make sure that they're not shiny. that kind of stuff. And then we have some defined eyebrows.
I put some eyebrows. I put on a little bit of eyeliner to make my baby blues pop.
Yep.
I put on pigtails. A little bit of this and that on my lips so I don't look dead. Really, that's my main priority. Don't look dead.
That sounds good.
Tell me about your makeup, Cathy Cat.
I have people call it like almost my trademark, the Cathy Cat trademark makeup, which kind of is a lot of it's blush that I use almost also as eyeshadow. So my eyeshadow and my blush goes into each other. It's like a little zigzag on both of my eyes. So it starts on top of my eyes, goes up to my cheek, and then down on my cheek.
Very nice. It's very attractive.
I think it's very much. Thank you. It's very much inspired by. There used to be a time of what did they call it? Makeup. There was a time when it was called slightly drunken makeup, and where they put a lot of blush on, and I kind of like that idea of using your blush also as your eyeshadow. So I kind of took that and adapted it a little bit. But then ever so often I will change my makeup. But if I'm in the morning and I have the little amount of time, then that is generally the makeup I do. But today I've added a little bit more glitter and shablam.
You do look lovely and shablammy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very glittery and shablammy.
Yeah, it's like that DC superhero film, Shablam.
Was it not Shazam?
It is Shazam. That's the
Shablam.
joke I'm
I'm
making.
Shablam.
Shablam.
Now.
Black Adam is the, what would he be? Black Adam? Black Adam would be your nemesis?
Now, makeup in Japan, on a note,
Yep.
on that note of Shablam, makeup trends in Japan are very interesting because there's so many and they're very distinctive compared to abroad. So for example, abroad we have it used to be in the 90s very thick, very thin eyebrows in the 90s. Everyone plucked their eyebrows in the 90s.
They did.
And now the influencers abroad have these big caterpillar.
Big old eyebrows.
Eyebrows are very defined. And in Japan, there's general makeup trends that are very over the top and very defined. That have then also a name to it. So the makeup style has a name to it as well. And that usually goes for some sort of fashion with it. But don't forget that you are not allowed to wear any makeup in school in Japan.
Really?
Yep.
Ever?
Generally, no. Most schools have in their school rules a rule against makeup.
What?
Well, the idea is if you all wear uniforms to look the same way, then putting on makeup is kind of defeating the purpose.
What if you're in a K-pop boy band? Because they always wear makeup all the time.
Out of school, you can do that, but not while you're going into school.
Oh, I see. Okay,
So
right.
teachers will actually pull out students if they see them wear makeup, and they will have to take the makeup off.
What if they're doing a piece of theatre and they need to go on stage?
Probably for that one they're allowed to, but then they have to take it off again.
I see.
So apparently I heard also teachers sometimes actually go with the kids to the bathroom and take that off, and they very strict.
At my
depending
school,
on how strict the schools are.
Sorry, at my school we were forced to shave. If you came to school with stubble, they'd send you to get the this rusty razor, and you had to go and shave your face at school.
Yeah. I mean, Japanese school rules is another topic I would love to talk about. Generally, just about the rules of you're not allowed to have nails that are too long. There's a lot of school rules. We interviewed people in the streets of Tokyo that got mentioned that I didn't even know existed as ridiculous ones, like the color of your underwear is decided. But that's a whole new other story. Anyways, you're not allowed to wear any makeup in school, right? And then you graduate school, and you try to find a job, and then you go into a job, and then bam, you have to wear makeup on some occasion.
You have to wear makeup?
Yeah, we interviewed a girl in the streets, and she said, I kind of think it's a bit stupid and ironic that we're so banned from wearing makeup, but then once we go into society, it's kind of expected of us. If we work in customer service, we have to keep up a certain appeal, a certain look, and then a polished look is in a certain situation, as a girl, you're supposed to then wear some sort of makeup. And she said, that is very ironic and kind of unfair.
It's not necessarily a logical decision, is it?
It's it's so decided by society when a girl is allowed to wear makeup and when she's not allowed to wear makeup. That's a bit stressful. But the kind of makeup styles we're going to talk about might be something that girls will put on after school. They might just head out of school, put on that makeup that we're going to talk about, and then head onto the streets of Tokyo.
Well, let's talk about that makeup she's sticking on after school.
Exactly.
Number one, the most popular kind of makeup in Japan, the old natural makeup.
Natural makeup. I'm not a big fan of natural makeup.
Tell us your opinion.
Because most of the boys will say, ooh, I like girls with natural makeup. Now, natural makeup, I've got it done once. Okay. Took me 2 hours. There is nothing natural about it if it takes you 2 hours. Whoa. Because they just stood there and they balanced your looks out. They balance every little pigment on your skin out, and they put a lot of makeup on you to look like as if you're not wearing makeup.
So
2 hours, guys. 2 hours.
Why don't you just
nobody got time for that every day.
Why don't you just not wear makeup?
But that's the idea. You're supposed to look as if you look flawless without makeup. So they do that actually in a lot in movies and stuff, and sometimes it's they look flawless, but they actually have had a lot of makeup done beforehand by probable stylists.
So I've heard of another way of achieving that, and it's called plastic surgery.
But then you can't change how smooth your skin is, right?
Can you not?
Maybe you can. I don't know.
Can you not?
Well, that's a new episode.
Okay.
On Cat with Beard.
All right, so that's natural makeup, you reckon? There's nothing natural about it. So it's a case of a false advertising, and it won't be long till this becomes a courtroom drama podcast.
I find it so funny because if I speak with girls who do makeup, they all say a natural makeup is a lie. And actually flashy makeup, for example, like mine, uses less makeup and is actually taking less time, but we just use more color, because it pops a little bit better. So actually, natural makeup is a lie.
Sounds sustainable. You should write it on a bottle and sell it in Germany.
Natural makeup is a lie. So yes. But also, moving from natural makeup, the Japanese people use a little bit more blush and a little bit more highlighter to make their features a little bit more chiseled is the word, I think.
Chiseled?
Chiseled?
Okay.
Okay, chiseled is the word for it.
All right.
But generally, I think some makeup trends in Japan recently are also very, very strong because think about it. Right now, if you take, it's not about your whole dress anymore because that's not in. If you take a selfie, it's about your face. Some people stream just with their face, and of course, there's a lot of beauty apps. But if you lay the groundwork down already with some good makeup, your face becomes the most important thing, right? So having good makeup and good pretty features is now even more important than it was before because fashion is important, but not as important anymore as some certain type of makeup that you're trying to represent.
Real? What? Wait, hang on. Say that again, please. Fashion as in what you're wearing.
But what you're wearing is still important, but if you're streaming and you can't see the bottom half, it's almost not as important. So your makeup is now more important than what you're wearing for some people because that is full on in focus. And if you make yourself a cute face, then that's a very good thing, I guess.
Wow, Bananarama. Okay, all right. So tell us about a different kind of makeup then that's also being thrown around the streets of Japan.
All right. There is a one that's called azatoi.
Okay.
So it's supposed to make you look very cute and as if you've just been crying. And it's supposed to be seen as very attractive and popular, very innocent-y.
Oh, yeah, I see a lot of the young girls walking around with this now. What they do is they look adorable, I must tell you.
It looks adorable.
But they do a whole lot of, so they draw this big old line underneath here, right? So it's meant to shorten the space between your eyes and your mouth and making these cheek parts smaller. That makes your whole face look smaller, and to that end more, she's so cute and small.
Well, in a lot of makeup trends, and I've seen a lot of makeup trends over the last 8 years, but a lot of makeup trends are there to make your eyes look bigger. Right? Yeah. That the point is to make your eyes look bigger, more anime, more cutesy, more childish in a way as well, because big eyes are something cute, right? You look at a cute doggo, ooh, big eyes, cute, that kind of stuff. So always making sure that your eyes look bigger and your face looks smaller is the two big things in Japanese makeup.
Apparently, there's something to do with cats, the kind of cats that people keep as pets. They evolved to have bigger eyes and smaller mouths so that humans would see them and find them cute and take care of them. And that's how they stayed alive. So, yeah, because their predatory skills were somehow deficient. Whereas you see larger cats, like predatory cats, they have these hideous faces.
Huge jaws.
Because they could hunt and keep themselves alive. Whereas smaller ones needed to evolve to get protected. And one of the things they did was they evolved to have bigger eyes and smaller mouths. I guess
that's what some makeup types do. Look at me, I'm cute, protect me.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's all about.
Some Japanese makeup styles seem to also
me. Holy moly. So that's azatoi. And now if we take that to the extreme, we get to the landmine.
Jiraike. Jiraike has come up recently, in the recent couple of years, and it's the landmine girls, meaning like they look super cute, but if you step on it, wait for the explosion. There could be something more waiting in there for you.
I say this in the least judgmental way possible, but a lot of these girls, you'll see them and they look so adorable, but you can tell that if you get in any way involved, some psycho madness is coming your way.
And I find what I find so interesting about Jiraike is that they know that and they're cool with that.
Well,
they're
that's like, their whole thing, isn't it?
Explode. I can be
their
completely.
Whole thing.
It's like it looks cute and you touch it and it goes meow. So that kind of.
I get now, so which kind of makes me say, so if you're walking around like that and you're trying to make new friends. Is everyone else aware of this situation?
Maybe it's like, I'm cute, but beware kind of thing.
Is it you meant to hide the beware part? Or are you supposed to
also be... If you officially say you're into Jedi, then, and you know what? Let us know. Are you wearing Jedi? Is Jedi your jam? Let us know.
Let me know.
Generally, to imagine what Jedi looks like, because I'm sure a couple of you guys don't know. So Jedi is generally, they keep the skin very pale. They have like a red eyeshadow around the eyes, but not as much as I do. And the thing under the eyes that you mentioned earlier, Namida Bukuro has been a big trend in Japan generally, where they try to put the emphasis on that little puffy part underneath your eyes. Now, in Western culture, having puffy underneath the eyes is a bad thing. It's like you're hungover, you're sleepy.
Haven't been to sleep. Oh.
Yeah, but I didn't have enough sleep. It's puffy. In Japan, it kind of gets a little bit of gloss to make it look puffy, because the thought here is it makes you look more younger and youthful.
Really? I kind of feel it makes you look older. I remember seeing an idol girl who I know, and she had like a photo on her Twitter with one of that. I was looking at going, why did she actively make herself look like she's older, she's so much older than she is. You know, she's got such a young, sweet face. Why would you put this big panda line underneath here?
It's a white panda line underneath it that's supposed to emphasize that puffiness and again make your eyes look bigger. It kind of like, this is the part of the eye, it's a little bit bigger and make it look fuller. And then they have usually very, very big contacts, the Jiraike girls. Generally, contacts in Japan are very commonly used. Some girls don't even need them for seeing. Some literally just wear them to make their eyes look bigger and again younger and cuter at the same time, and then bright and like strongly painted lips for the Jiraike as well.
These girls do unequivocally look adorable.
Oh yeah,
like just every instinct in your body tells you to go, oh,
cute.
Yeah, that's the point, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's like I've also read it. It's like it's supposed to look as if you've been recently crying, so your eyes are still a little bit red. Ooh. That kind of thing is like, like in Japan, there's a big thing about when a woman cries. It's apparently a string that they say no man can stand a woman crying. You kind of will want to have to protect her.
Is that right?
That kind of like yeah. That
is
kind
that
of
right?
Yeah, if you look at a couple of animes and dramas and stuff like that, it's always like, when women is crying, you can't deal with that. It's a very strong power. So maybe they're using that a little bit to their advantage in there again a little bit.
Definitely true that the turning on the waterworks, that definitely is persuasive if you're a female.
So what would happen if someone wore the big red-eyed Jiraike style in Australia?
I have no idea. I mean, Ladybeard's opinion is do whatever the hell you like. So if you want to try, some of you guys in Australia can try and let us know in the comments.
I mean, there's a lot of Jiraike girls all around the world now.
Yeah.
And I like the it's like pink and black are like some really cool combos that
they actually look very good.
With color, very frilly. It's very
nice.
close to Lolita. I think a lot of Lolitas are like, oh, it's a Lolita over there, and then they see the skirt. The skirt is shorter. And there's just not as much print going on. You're like, oh, that's the Jiraike girl. That's not Lolita fashionista.
They remind me of, those dolls, those Blythe dolls?
Oh, like Blythe dolls.
They all remind me of Blythe.
Yes, very big, cute eyes. I think in Germany you could totally try and wear it, but I think in Germany, because we're very basic in Germany with our fashion and our makeup, people will say, why you're wearing so much makeup.
Really?
Yeah, in Germany we're very basic. We're very basic. We're the practical ones.
I didn't realize
on
that.
the weekend we take the day out and we go into the nature So maybe for events you can pull it off. If you put that much makeup on all the time, people will probably ask you why you're wearing so much makeup. But then again,
is that right?
Maybe that's just the area where I live in. You can correct me if it's different in your area, but generally Germans keep it fairly simple and their makeup fairly natural or very basic, or maybe literally just a little bit on the eyebrow, a little bit on the lashes, but really not that strongly. We don't really wear strong makeup in Germany.
Is that right? Wow, I didn't know that.
Says the person right now who's literally wearing reflecting horns. And you see that I'm compensating for years of boring.
You ain't in Germany right now, though.
Exactly. I'm compensating for years of boring in my lifestyle.
You look fantastic, by the way, with these horns and this
in
buzzsaw
your
halo.
magical girl outfit today.
Yeah,
I think there's something to definitely check out. If you're listening to this podcast right now, don't forget you can see all the glitz and glam we made ourselves look pretty for you. Yes, you there listening right now.
The glitz
and you
glamour
can see the
of
glitz
this
and
red
glam.
carpet that we call Bunkerhose.
Bunkerhose and the red carpet of Bunkerhose. We dressed up pretty for you, so be sure to check that out on our YouTube. And then you can see the makeup that we're talking about right now as well.
The whole thing.
One of my favorite makeup styles that is currently not the most trending, but definitely used to be one of the most trending, or one of the biggest trending one, was the Gyaru makeup.
Oh, the Gyaru makeup. I got made over in the Gyaru makeup once.
Me too. It's fun. How long did it take you?
Ages.
Ages?
I don't know. I think I fell asleep during the process, so
Yeah.
I can't even tell you. It's a long old time.
Gyaru makeup is probably the most outrageous makeup that still counts as non-theater makeup, which uses tons of lashes on top of each other, even lashes, like big lashes on your lower lash line, on your top lash line. I spoke with a Gyaru girl who literally said, oh yeah, I put like 3 lashes, glue them on top of each other, make my eyes look as big as possible. That makeup is the biggest and flashiest. It can be super colorful. It's super creative, I find. And I have also gotten one of those makeovers once. It is fascinating. You do look different. Everyone will look very different when you wear Gyaru makeup.
So the Gyaru, so standard issue Gyaru is they put on makeup so they have extremely tanned looking skin. Sometimes they even hit the tanning salon. Yeah?
It's like the California girls of Japan, if you think about it. They actually do everything that's almost, I feel it seems like a bit of a rebellion against the typical Japanese beauty standard. The Japanese Nadeshiko beauty standard is pale skin, black hair, very submissive, very quiet, very serving. And the Gyaru girls are the right opposite. They're like, outspoken, they tan, they bleach their hair. Again, another big taboo, especially if you're going to school. They wear like short crop tops and sexy little skirts. So they're like literally rebelling against the Nadeshiko typical beauty standard. But they're like the ones who are outspoken, they're having fun, they're having boyfriends. It's a very different. It's almost like the absolute opposite of the traditional standards.
Do you have any mates who are Gyaru? Have you gotten close to a Gyaru?
Yeah. I've been actually doing a couple of videos in when I started coming to Japan with a couple of people from Black Diamond and like famous Gyaru.
Black Diamond, I work with them, the ones who did me.
They're fantastic. Cool. They're fantastic.
Yeah, that's
and I tried to copy, for example, one of their makeup styles with the long nails that she was wearing in the video. So I rewatched the YouTube video, tried to put on the long nails, and tried to see if I could recreate that makeup style and such. So that is very, very, very fun. I do love Gyaru. Unfortunately, right now it's not as popular as it used to be. A lot of the Gyaru magazines has gone out of print, but seriously, it's so much fun. And I hope that with social media, Gyaru is going to become a little bit more popular again these days, because I think Gyaru's rock.
The Gyaru stuff, some of it was extreme. Like girls would end up literally looking like pandas, like a white face with black big thingamajigs under their eyes.
Very like what's the word for it? OTT. Very over the top makeup. Very like flashy.
Green. Like girls would look like aliens. They do like green.
I think that was a different style again. That was like a sub style to. The sub-style to the Gyaru style and stuff. I mean, there was the Mamba. There were like the darkest and most biggest makeup and stuff like that. But hey, they had fun. They wanted to dress like that, and they did. I met one of the Gyaru who also... Gyarus are having a bit of a reputation of not being very clever because they spend so much time on having fun and makeup.
Power to them, I say.
Yeah, she was actually famous for being a Gyaru, but also having like one of the highest kanji Japanese letter tests passed.
Is that right?
Yeah.
She could write kanji with those big old nails.
Apparently, yeah. I was wondering about that, how she had to hold the pen, but yeah. The Ghetto are like the fun California girls having fun there.
Look at that, girls just want to have fun.
Exactly.
When the working day is done.
But then it's also worth always looking out on the social media, because right now trends come up really quickly.
Yeah, of course.
And then they move on, and then they die again, and another trend comes up and stuff like that. So.
I have a question. Are there man gyaros?
Yes. I heard they're called gyaros.
Gyaro. Oh, that would make sense.
But they're also like, they're tan and they hang out with a lot of gyaro girls, and they also like dye their hair and that kind of stuff.
Sounds like a fella who goes to the beach a lot.
Sounds like it. Yeah. I mean, also another thing, good that you mentioned guys. I've seen a couple of guys like now on the streets of Harajuku, just when hanging out. There's a lot of guys who start wearing makeup nowadays.
A lot of them now. Yep.
And even if it's just like a plain foundation or a little bit of guy liner, and they're set.
Guy liner.
Right?
I like that.
But they're set, and it's beautiful. I remember interviewing these two guys, and that's years ago. I still remember them. They were so beautiful.
I mean, they all look like K-pop stars.
They all look like K-pop stars. And a lot of male idols, or pretty much all male idols that I've met so far, they all wear makeup. So it's not a girls only thing anymore. It's definitely something anyone can try. And if you want to look a little bit more pretty and you want to draw a couple more eyes, hey, you go for it.
Finding more and more with the youth of Japan, it is increasingly becoming, if you desire to be an aesthetically pleasing young man, makeup is more and more and more involved.
It seems, yeah. Especially if you aim to be seen, if you aim to become a streamer, if you aim to have your face on screen in any kind of media. A lot of people started wearing makeup now, so it's not just for girls anymore. Anyone can prettify themselves.
Do the hosts wear makeup? Sure, some of them do.
Pretty sure the hosts wear makeup. No one has no poor, flawless skin just like that. If you look at all those hosts, these guys who get paid for drinking with girls, if you go to Shinjuku, you'll see tons of posters of them looking absolutely flawless, super styled hair, nails done. They probably got their makeup done too as well. I'm pretty sure about that.
Must be.
Hey. So, Ladybeard, how much time do you spend on your makeup?
Oh, man, as little as I have to, frankly. I'm trying to get the result and then move on, frankly.
Get the result and then move on.
If I do it myself, it'll take a minimum of an hour.
All right. I probably need an hour.
Yeah.
I probably need around minimum of an hour.
Minimum of an hour.
Not maximum of an hour.
No, I'm not good at it, you see. Oh. I'm not very good at doing it. I can do it, but I'm not very good at it. So I'm much better off if my amazing manager does it on my behalf. That way, my main job is to sit, and I'm quite good at that.
Yeah, be Ladybeard.
But let me tell you, it's just for everyone who doesn't make up. Okay, so if you're right-handed, it's been my experience. Right-hand side of your face, no problem. Left-hand side of your face, you got to do this, pop it around this side.
Go to the other side.
I don't know about you, but frankly, I find this nightmarish.
Fair enough.
The old forehand I can handle, especially on the eyeliner. The old backhand, oh, mate, what a nightmare.
I find it more difficult to put makeup on other people, but I do love it. I've dressed up girls and I've dressed up guys in Harajuku fashion. So for me, like that transformation that you can have, in a way, makeup can be very liberating. I think a lot of people think it's like hiding yourself behind a mask or, there's some negative images there, but I think in a way it can be liberating, it can be freeing, and it can give confidence to people who might otherwise not have confidence. So I'd like everyone to rethink their basic idea of what makeup is, because it can be an art, it's a form of expression, it's something that can bring a lot of fun in. So if I have, for example, more time and I find a new eyeshadow palette and go like, let's go wild, let's try something completely crazy this time. And I love doing that because it's fun and it's colorful, and you don't have to buy a new dress. You can just pick up a different color that you never had and create a completely different style in your face. So
would you ever shave your head?
No. Why?
That would then change your aesthetic dramatically.
Yeah, no. Would you ever shave your head?
Hell yeah.
Really?
I mean, obviously not right now. Right now, these are very important to my entire life.
I mean, hey, it looks really good on some people, but just I looked at my scalp before. I'm like, I don't think I would look
I reckon you got a lovely scalp.
why did we come to this corner? Why did we start talking about
You know,
this?
in my mind, hair and makeup go together. But I guess we're not really here to talk about hair today, are we?
I mean,
we better keep it facial.
I do actually.
Scalpel.
One thing I generally really notice a lot, because when I go on my shoots for NHK, I do have a stylist show. No, I go in with my own makeup, and then she does the hair for me. She's a hair and makeup, but generally I have my own style, so I want to wear my own style, and she honors that, which I do appreciate. But she always does a different hairstyle on me, and that is actually fascinating how much your hair can change absolutely everything about your appearance.
Yeah, big time.
It is. Every time it blows my mind. Shout out to Ito-san, you're amazing. It is fascinating just what she has created, and sometimes I will look like a little princess with like really big curls, and sometimes she will put the hair up in a way, and she tried to like give me cat ears for one, because that was one of my requests. Then she brings in some ribbons, she brings in some extra accessories to put into my hair, so every time I look different, it's still probably basically the same makeup, but then the hair is what really, really changes everything.
But if we're having the makeup conversation, surely the hair becomes part of it. Because let's say you're doing your gimmick.
Usually the staff is hair make does the same
when
thing.
You're trying to make this space between your eyes and your mouth look smaller. When you're trying to make your whole thing look smaller, you can put your hair here to frame your face and make your whole dang face look smaller. That's why all these girls with this I draw a line under my eyes. Chicks, they all do the old hair across here and shorten the face and the
in Japan,
face.
Having a small face is a good thing. So if people come to you in Japan and say, "Kao, chisai desu ne, you have a small face," that's a big compliment. I know a German guy who had a really small face, so people will tell him, "You got a small face," and he got really upset about it because he thought people were pointing out a flaw about him. But in Japan, it's a very good thing. The smaller the face, the bigger the eyes, the more cute you look and the more beautiful you look. That's one of the fashion trends here in Japan.
Let me tell you another fun thing about Japan. This is not face-oriented or makeup or hair-oriented. If the Japanese touch your body in any way and say you are soft, that too is a compliment. I didn't know that. I had a girl touch my stomach and say, "Oh, it's so soft," and I was like, "I beg your pardon." I thought she was giving me a hard time, but no. It turns out that's complimentary to touch someone's skin anywhere and say that it's soft.
Okay, I never had that happen, and I hope it will never happen. I think that there's a lot of problems with people randomly touching other people without consent.
This is back when I was a vegan and everything, and I was working very hard on the old 6-pack. So to have someone touch your stomach and say, "It's so soft," is a little bit, "Now just wait just a minute here."
Oh, yeah. I can imagine that being a bit upsetting, especially if you're waiting when you're working on being ripped. But
yeah, so soft to the touch and a small face. Compliments in the land of the rising sun.
So yeah, if someone comes and tells you have a small face, it's a big compliment. What is your makeup style of choice? Again, I repeat, natural makeup is a lie. It takes way more time and way more makeup. But what style have you ever tried a style? What style are you curious about? I'm pretty sure that it's rare to find someone who doesn't think that the Jidai looks adorable. They look adorable. They know what they're doing.
Would you ever tattoo your face?
No, would you?
I personally wouldn't, but I do have friends who've done that.
There is permanent makeup, it's called, and that's pretty much tattooing your face, where you put, for example, the line that you have drawn now with an eyeliner. They just tattoo it onto your eyeline, which means you wake up in the morning and you're wearing makeup because it's tattooed on your face.
And don't some people pluck their eyebrows and do the tattoo instead? Tattoo their eyebrows?
I don't know. I haven't done it, and I don't know anyone who's done it. Has any one of your friends done that?
I'm sure they have, to be honest. I'm sure someone I know has done that.
Hey, beauty trends and makeup trends are always going to change over time. Especially seeing in a lot of tourists are coming to Japan right now who have a lot of tattoos, and they said they're getting some weird looks from some people, but sometimes some compliments from others, that kind of stuff.
You're not meant to have visible tattoos in Japan. You're not meant to have that. If you come to the gym in Japan, you have to cover your tattoos. So you're informed.
Or the beach. Yeah. Or the onsen. Or the poolside. Anywhere where you're supposed to show skin. It's a bit of a problem, but now with the big influx of tourists who are coming in, I have the feeling a lot of places they're they're going to change that rule a little bit.
Yeah, so careful if you have very easily visible tattoos, like on your hands, your face, for instance. That'll be something. This has come a long way from makeup.
Yeah, but hey, you were the one who started the tattoo conversation.
I 100% started it. Because to be frank, it's sort of the same thing as makeup. I'll be frank. If you get a tattoo, it's like a permanent form of makeup on a particular bit of your skin. What we do is sitting here talking all about our gouty gout, gonna look all tanned, about all our landmine, gonna make your cheeks all small, about your natural makeup. You want to work very hard in your makeup to look like you're not wearing makeup. You know how you can look like you're permanently wearing makeup? Tattoos!
So
that's the way to do it.
Pretty much saying, what we're pretty much saying is, you do you. You know what your own definition of beautiful is, and you can work at that and have fun with it.
Ladybeard officially supports that message.
Yes. All right. Ladybeard, where could we find you on the net?
At Ladybeard_Japan.
Ooh.
And my group at Babybeard. _Japan.
Babybeard.
Cathy Cat.
Cathy Cat. Not Cathy Cat _TV. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all the shenanigans. Also on NHK World and Japan Railway Journal.
And Japan Railway Journal.
We're getting there. Looking forward to your comments. Please check out our Twitter. We tweet about the stuff when a new episode comes up with our cool guests. We have a lot of amazing guests on this podcast. So if this is the very first episode you're listening to for whatever reason, we have done some amazing ones with people who've really made it in Japan. And also, if you want to see our makeup and what we're wearing today, then definitely head on over to our YouTube channel, Cat with Beard from Japan, to check out the newest video. It was a pleasure again to be hosting here at Nippon Cultural Broadcasting, and we'll see you for another episode of
Cat with Beard!